See, good ministry takes years to really build. Y'all ain't gonna say nothing to me. It took Moses 40 years in the desert for him to bring the children of Israel out. So why do you think you get saved on Tuesday, you feel like you're a deacon on Wednesday, now you want to become the bishop on Friday, then you want to oversee churches on Sunday, then you want to open up 6 churches in your own city, and why do you think that if something's going to be special just because you have come to Christ? You're not special. Tell somebody, say you ain't special. Please do not meet nobody outside of the parking lot because I told you to say that, okay? What I'm saying is you're not that special because of the fact you ain't went through nothing yet to tell somebody about something. If you're a newborn in Christ, you can't tell me how to survive a reckless marriage. But somebody who has age and wisdom can tell me how to deal with the struggles in terms of your life. I wouldn't talk about you. I just can't do Thank you, Jesus. Somebody lift those hands and tell God thank you. Amen. So what we have to understand is that we got to know who we are. Amen. We got to stay in our lane. How in the world am I going to drive? My lane is going up, but I'm going and I'm driving in the other lane. That cars are coming directly toward me. You're out of place. You're out of order. And that's what's happening in the church, man. Is that we're out of place and we're out of order because we don't know who we are. And plus we suffer from a sense of false identity. We don't know what it means, what it takes for us to really deal with God on that level. Well, guess what? A few days ago, the Lord really dealt with me on some issues, and He really got me into preparing for what I'm going to preach today and on Thursday, and He made me watch The Passion of the Christ. And when I was watching The Passion of the Christ, I had my eyes fixated on the TV because of the fact that I felt like if I looked away, I would miss something. But there was one thing that really stuck out to me. If the Bible says take up your cross and follow me, that means everything that you have to do before taking up the cross, you got to do too. That means if you got to be beaten up, spat at, and accused of or something that you didn't even do, honey, you got to go through the exact same things too. If you call yourself a kingdom kid, well, guess what? You're going to have to be beaten to the point where you look unrecognizable. But on the inside, you know who you are. Amen. You can beat me up all you want to, but on the inside, I know who I am, honey. Amen. Talk about me all you want to. Talk about me as much as you please. But still, at the end of the day, when I woke up this morning, I woke up with Christ on my mind, in my spirit, in my heart. When I went to lunch, when I went to Subway and got me a BLT, I still had Jesus on my mind. When I went to Golden Corral that night for dinner, I still had Jesus on my mind. And when I watched the 10 o'clock news and went on to sleep, I still had God on my mind. Amen. Amen. Because I know who I am. Touch your neighbor and say, I know who I am. So in our text, a lot of us suffer from a sense of false identity to where we cease to exist and become a robot to society. Let me say that again. A lot of us suffer from a false sense of identity to where you cease to exist, but you become a robot to society. Amen. What do you mean? Because I didn't get that. Okay, I'm going to tell you. What I mean is this, is that I grew up in a society that all I knew was rap. All I knew was gangsters. All I knew was drugs. All I knew was weed. All I knew was this, that, and the other. Shaking it like a salt shaker and all that other stuff. That's all I knew. So I become a robot to that. So that means I have to keep on conforming to what the world says. Now watch this. The Bible says, be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. So therefore, there's got to be a transformation in your mind. It's got to be a transformation in your walk. You cannot become a product of your society. Listen, if the truth hadn't been told, listen, y'all, I didn't really know what rap was until I was about 17. Because my whole surrounding was nothing but church. All I knew was church. church. All I knew was playing the keyboard. All I knew was preaching. I was preaching from when I got a chance to walk. I was probably preaching with a little twin mic and stuff, as they said. My mom used to say that I stood up on the table at Shoney's and started screaming out to the people, "I'm going to tell y'all about the power of God." And my mom was probably a little drunk. Y'all don't tell her that. And so all I knew, Deacon, was nothing but church. So when I was introduced into a society that was different from mine, I got picked on because of the fact I wasn't like everybody else. And see, guess what? Because of the fact you know who you are, you don't have to conform to what society says. You can change your society by the life you live. So guess what? Now I stand married, having 2 children by 1 wife, and all those that I graduate all the males, either have 2 or 3 or 4 kids by 2 or 3, 4 different baby mamas and whatnot, and therefore they're still struggling, still on Section 8, still doing all this other stuff when they could have been doing and working a good job and could have been really serving God, could have been living a good life. But I decided a long time ago I'm going to follow Christ because I know who I am. Now, do I disrespect them? Because I chose a path that led to prosperity and not the path that everybody else didn't know. What I do is, when I see them, I say, "Brother, you can do better than this. Because you used to look fly back at school. But why can't you look fly for Christ?" Amen. I ain't gonna say nothing yet. See, our text is about, what I'm about to show you in the text is that you can never look at the outward appearance and judge somebody. See, that's what we do, saints, is we look at somebody by what they look like and judge who they are. So watch this. Now, in the text, we see that Samuel has to anoint a new king because Israel, in the text, had put a king up, but the king was acting crazy. So therefore, the people wanted a human king. But God said, now listen, I am your God, I am your king, so therefore, if you want a king, I'm going to choose a man after my own heart. Amen. So what God tells Samuel is, Samuel, go to Jesse's house. And what you're going to do is you're going to have a sacrifice and whatnot. And you're going to mask it like that because of the fact if word gets to King Saul, you could be killed. So therefore, you don't need to be afraid. You don't need to get all scared out. Touch somebody and say, don't be scared. Don't be scared. You don't need to be scared or anything like that. All you need to do is just go down there, tell him to bring his sons, and I'm going to anoint a new king. So that's what Samuel does. Samuel goes over to Jesse's house and tells Jesse, go get your sons. Now, watch this, y'all. I want to uplift 2 classifications of Christians today. And I'm going to hit it hard. So, y'all, fasten your seatbelts because we're going on a nice bumpy ride. Okay. I want to lift up 2 things. 2 types of people. I want to lift up the first one. I want to characterize these type of people as unstable or psycho Christians.
Come on.
Unstable, Deacon, or psycho Christians. Now, there are some characteristics to this. Now, the first characteristic is that a psycho Christian does not follow instructions. Let me help some of y'all here, because half y'all are like, what's this? What are you talking about? Okay, I'm about to help you. Samuel told Jesse to bring his sons. How many sons in the text were there? 7. How many sons did Jesse have? 8. So there was somebody missing. Okay, can I get something else? Sure. Now, flipping to the note in the New Testament, when Jesus was having a dialogue with Simon, Jesus told Simon to go out into the deep and launch your nets, and you shall receive a crop. Now, watch this. Jesus said, throw out your nets. N-E-T-S. I'm not talking about the New Jersey nets. I'm talking about a fishing net. Nets. Throw out your nets But what did Simon do? Simon tossed out a net. N-E-T. Nothing else. So therefore, he didn't follow instructions. Somebody who is unstable don't know how to follow godly instructions. How many blessings, saints of God, have you missed because you did not follow the instructions?